Video 3. So now you have Ollama installed, you've pulled a model and had your first conversation. Now comes the question I get asked more than anything else. Which model should I actually be running? There are hundreds of models available, and most tutorials either ignore the question or give you a generic answer that doesn't help. Today we're going to fix that. 5 models, what they are, what they're actually good at, and how to choose between them. Let's get started. Before we get into the models themselves, 3 things worth understanding because they'll make everything else make sense. First, size affects speed dramatically. A 3B model runs at 50 or more tokens per second on a mid-range GPU. A 70B model on the same machine might do 3. Same hardware, completely different experience. Bigger models are not automatically better. It's about matching the model to your hardware and your task. Second, models are trained for different things. Mistral is tuned for writing and following instructions. DeepSeek R1 is specifically built for reasoning. Llama is general purpose. Using the wrong model for a task is like asking a calculator to write a poem. It'll try, but there's a better tool for the job. And third, VRAM is the real constraint. The model has to fit in your GPU's memory to run at full speed. 8GB of VRAM handles 7B models comfortably. 4GB handle 3B models comfortably. But go over your VRAM limit and the model spills into your system's RAM, which is much, much slower. Know your VRAM number before you pull. Let me demystify the numbers. When you see 3B or 7B or 13B next to the model name, the B stands for billion, as in billion parameters. Parameters are the numbers inside the model that encode everything it learned during training. Think of them as the model's memory. More parameters mean more knowledge and more nuance in its responses. More parameters also mean more compute required to run it. Small models, 1 to 3 billion parameters, are fast and light. On a mid-range GPU, you're getting 50 to 80 tokens per second. The file is 2 to 4 gigabytes. They're surprisingly capable for simple tasks, and they're the right choice if you're on limited hardware or just need a quick answer. Medium models, 7 to 8 billion parameters, are the sweet spot for most people. Fast enough to feel responsive, capable enough to handle complex writing, research, and analysis, and if you have 8GB of VRAM, this is where you should be spending most of your time. And large models, 13 billion and up, produces noticeably better reasoning and output quality, but need more VRAM and are slower to respond. They're worth it if you have the hardware, but they're not necessary for most everyday use. Let's go through the main models you'll encounter, 5 of them. Each one has a specific reason to exist. Llama, made by Meta. This is the most widely used open source model family in the world. Llama 3.2 at 3 billion parameters is the best small model for getting started. Fast, capable, and runs on literally any hardware. The 8B version is where most people land for general everyday use. Well-rounded, reliable, and huge community support. Mistral, made by a French AI lab. Mistral 7B consistently outperforms Llama of the same size on writing and instruction following tasks. If you're using AI for writing, editing, or drafting, Mistral often produces noticeably better output. It's the specialist for language quality. DeepSeek R1. This is the model that made headlines earlier this year. It uses chain of thought reasoning, meaning it actually thinks through problems step by step before giving you an answer, like showing it's working in math. For reasoning, math, logic, and coding, the difference is visible and real. Even the 7B version is impressive. Gemma 2, Google's open source model. The 9B version in particular is strong for its size, very solid for conversational use, good general purpose model, and the 2B version is one of the best ultra small options available. Phi 3, made by Microsoft. This is the surprising one. Phi 3 Mini is 3.8 billion parameters, but it's trained on significantly higher quality data than most models its size. It often benchmarks like a 7B model while running at 3B speeds. Best choice if you're on limited hardware and want more than you'd expect from a small model. Here's how I'd approach this. 2 questions. Answer them and you know exactly what to pull. Question 1. What's your VRAM? If you have no dedicated GPU or you're running on integrated graphics, start with Llama 3.2, 3B, or Phi 3. If you have 4 to 6 GB of VRAM, Llama 3.2, 3B, or Gemma 2, 2B. If you have 8 GB, and this is the most common setup, Llama 3.1, 8B, or Mistral, and 12 or more gigabytes, and you can comfortably run DeepSeek R1 14B. Question 2. What do you mainly want to do? General chat or Q&A, Llama 3.1. Writing and editing, Mistral. Maths, reasoning or coding, DeepSeek R1. fast and lightweight on any hardware, 5.3, or conversational AI, Gemma 2. When in doubt, start with Llama 3.1 if you have 8GB of VRAM, or Llama 3.2 if you have less. You can always pull more models later and switch between them instantly. Concrete recommendations, not it depends, actual commands. For just getting started, pull Llama 3.2, fastest download, works on any hardware, and handles most things well. You want better writing quality? Pull Mistral alongside Llama and switch to it for writing tasks. The difference is noticeable. You do any maths, coding, or logic? Pull DeepSeek R1. Chain of thought reasoning makes a visible difference on hard problems. And if you're on limited hardware, pull Phi 3. It performs like a 7B model at 3B speeds. Genuinely impressive for what it is. My honest recommendation? Pull all 4 and spend a week with them. You'll learn very quickly which one you naturally reach for. They're free, they take 5 minutes to download each, and switching between them is one command. Now you know what to run. Go pull the model that fits your situation and try it today. Drop a comment. Which model are you going to start with? I'm genuinely curious and I read every single one. Subscribe for video 4, where we build a private document Q&A tool. You'll be able to chat with your own files, contracts, reports, anything, with nothing sent to the internet. I'll see you there.